Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Rezolve AI. It is time for another update, and on this chart we have been tracking this idea of a large ABC structure, and we weren't necessarily focusing as much on this interpretation initially, but since we got rejected at the last level of resistance, the 78.6% retracement, we create this massive push to the downside. We failed to hold the internal levels of support for continuation higher, and we only formed a three-wave move to the upside within this area. Yeah, all those things piled up forced us to look with increased probability for a larger pattern to the downside, especially since we were tracking a potential 5-wave move within this area to the downside. Yeah, this would have been highly suggestive of even further continuation afterwards. Now, since within this wave 1 top we have formed only a 3-wave structure, we can track an area of support, but it's not going to be a high probability trade setup. If we break, however, below the 78.6% retracement at the $1.7 level, it would be a strong signal that this structure is indeed going to fail. Now, to discuss a bit the smaller time frame. Within this area, in the previous video, we were actually looking still for extensions lower to track a complete 5-wave move to the downside. And to be honest, it's not absolutely needed. So right now we notice we pushed into the last level of resistance. We got a brief break above it, and we could still form here the next wave to the downside. But to be honest, I might consider that this has already formed the 5-wave structure to the downside. I don't necessarily absolutely need another wave to consider it as a 5-wave move, and I would be extremely cautious even if we pushed higher. Yeah, we wanted to track possible extensions of this wave down, but they were needed. They are ideas we need to track for a signal when the correction, or not necessarily the correction, but the wave is coming to an end. Yeah, we would need a signal. A break above the 61.8% retracement would have been a signal. Now, sure, we did get a brief break above it, and it could be even enough, to be honest, to consider this wave, or this interpretation rather, complete, because yeah, we also got quite a large correction within this wave 4 compared to the wave 2. The proportions are quite different, quite unlike, and I might even prefer that we have formed a more significant bottom within this wave to the downside already. Now, clearly within this yellow interpretation we didn't get the extension lower, we followed through within another path, and that also makes me more inclined to believe that we have already bottomed within this structure to the downside, possibly even within a 5-wave move, and this forces me really to look for the interpretation of a 1-2 setup, a bearish 1-2 setup. Now, is this a very, very high likelihood? Could be. It could be very risky to actually look for a position towards the end of this resistance area we are going to track, and here we have the levels for such a pattern between the 38.2% retracement at the $3.7 level, all the way up to the 78.6% retracement at the $6.3 level. Now, if we manage to break through the 78.6% retracement with a sustained break, it would be a decent signal that we might manage to get through also the next level of resistance. But what I would like the most to build within this area would be an initial 5-wave move to the upside, because even if we got this larger initial 5-wave move to the downside within this area, we also build this initial 5-wave move to the upside, we might manage to get through in a larger 1-2 setup. We might manage to build the larger pattern, and even if we don't initially break the level of resistance within the next wave, we could manage to get through even the next level of resistance. Yeah, and already if we break the first one, it's a strong signal. The next one is going to fall as well, but yeah, we would need to build the initial 5-wave move to the upside for such a high probability trade setup. Yeah, we would have here a 1-2 setup, very interesting if we manage to get it. Now, keep in mind, if we only build here a 3-wave move to the upside, this could easily extend lower. Even within this wave 2, even within the white scenario, I could easily see a larger ABC structure unfold, even if we don't break the area of support. There is still significant risk within this area, and for this pattern to the upside, I will be tracking the potential 5-wave move, yeah, in white, and we are going to track even an internal level of support for a correction in the wave 4. Now, this is assuming we have already formed a top within the wave 3. If we extend higher within the wave 3, I would also need to extend this area of support, but here I would be watching the levels between the $4.2 all the way down to the $3.2 level. Keep in mind, this is building as a leading diagonal in the best case scenario. Within the wave 1, we clearly only have a 3-wave pattern to the upside, and within the wave 3, it's honestly horrible. Yeah, this structure is very difficult. I could maybe consider this an ABC within a wave A, then this would be a larger ABC structure that could have already formed the top, but within this wave C, within this latest formation to the upside, I might still prefer another high. You see here, I might consider a double 1-2-1-2 setup, a third wave up, fourth wave down, and then a fifth wave, and then maybe even another 4-5. I wouldn't look too much into it, but I could easily see this wave 3 extend a little bit higher. Now, if we want to track internal levels of support for continuation, possibly in a more direct fashion, I would be looking here for something like, a correction in wave 4. Could be interesting. Here, we could watch here the levels between the $4.7 all the way down to the $4.3 level. I am at the moment tracking this as an impulse, and if we manage to hold this area of support, we can still track continuation higher. We could expect here an ABC structure within the wave 4. But yeah, if we build the fifth wave, if we get a slight extension higher, not a problem. This wave 3 could still take place here. We would only need to adjust slightly the large area of support, because the next correction is going to be interesting, because if we manage to hold it and build the fifth wave, the upside, we could have our long sought 1-2 setup, the interesting high probability continuation into a potential breakout. But for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.